The secret to never letting your emotions ruin your life and career. Have you ever felt like you were being controlled by your own emotions? One minute you're incredibly focused, the next you're derailed by anxiety, anger, or procrastination. Negative emotions arrive like a storm, sweeping away all your effort and productivity. You know exactly what you need to do to move forward, but your emotions are the invisible rope tying you down. Welcome to my channel, and today we're tackling one of the biggest hurdles on the road to success for young people. It's emotional control. Many people think that controlling emotions means suppressing them or pretending they don't exist. That is a huge mistake. This video isn't about turning you into an emotionless robot. On the contrary, it will equip you with 8 golden secrets to understand, accept, and intelligently master your emotions. After watching, you'll no longer fear negative emotions. Instead, you'll know how to turn them into powerful fuel, helping you accelerate in your studies, career, and build more sustainable relationships. Let's get started right away. Secret 1. Recognize and name your emotions. The power of naming. If you can't name something, you can't control it. Think of emotions as wild animals in the jungle. When you call them generically wild beasts, you'll be afraid. But when you clearly know it's a tiger or a rabbit, you know how to deal with it. Most of us only use 3 words: happy, sad, and angry. But human emotion is an infinite palette. Anger can be frustration, irritation, outrage, or hurt. Feeling unhappy can be loneliness, disappointment, regret, or exhaustion. This is the core of emotional intelligence, EQ. When you accurately name your emotion, your brain shifts from instinctive reaction mode, the amygdala area, to analysis and problem-solving mode, the prefrontal cortex area. This helps you create a tiny space between emotion and action, and that is where self-control resides. Imagine you're trying to learn a new skill for work, but you keep scrolling through social media. You think, I'm procrastinating. But what is the truth? If you only say, I'm procrastinating, you'll blame yourself. But if you stop and ask yourself, what emotion is driving me to do this? You might discover, case A, you're not procrastinating, you're anxious because you fear failure. The task is too difficult, you're afraid to mess up, so you seek immediate comfort on social media. Case B, you're not procrastinating, you're feeling burnt out or undervalued. You've been overworking and your brain is refusing to obey, demanding rest. See the difference? Accurately naming it, anxiety instead of procrastination, completely changes how you solve the problem. Instead of self-blame, you transition to planning an action to reduce the anxiety. Tip 1. Build your own emotional vocabulary. Every evening, spend 5 minutes journaling. Don't just write, I felt bad today. Write, today I felt agitated because I wasted time, and I felt disheartened because of my boss's criticism. Tip 2. Use the formula, I feel X because of Y. When a strong emotion hits, say out loud or write down this sentence. I feel disappointed, X, because Y, I spent all day working but didn't achieve the desired result. This forces you to trace the root cause, Y, and not just stop at the surface of the emotion, X. This is the key to managing emotions from the root. Remember, Secret 1 is not about processing the emotion. It is the first and most crucial step. Name it. When you master the language of emotion, you are halfway to mastering your life. Let's move on to secret number 2, where we will learn how to. Secret 2. Accept the emotion, not the judgment. Acceptance, not judgment. After naming the emotion in Secret 1, the next step is accept it without self-judgment. This is the golden rule that channels like Crappy Childhood Fairy or Feel Real Good always emphasize. When you feel angry, frustrated, or jealous, what is our first reaction? I shouldn't feel this way. This emotion is weak. It's bad. It is the act of judging the emotion itself that turns it into suffering. The initial feeling of anger is just a small message, but when you judge it, I am a terrible person because I'm angry, you are adding fuel to the fire. Emotions are not facts, they are data. Every emotion exists for a reason. Jealousy tells you what you feel is missing. Anxiety tells you there's a potential threat that needs preparation. Acceptance means, welcome, disappointment. I see you're here. I will not push you away, and I won't let you drive the car. You allow it to be present, but you don't allow it to control your actions. Suppose you just received a rejection from your dream company. The emotions that hit are deep sadness and shame. Wrong reaction, judgment. You say, I'm useless, I'll never succeed, I'm not worthy. The next actions might be quitting, drinking, or avoiding responsibility. Right reaction, acceptance. You take a deep breath and say, I am feeling hurt and ashamed. That is okay. It hurts to be rejected, and that shows I genuinely cared about this opportunity. After accepting the pain, you can ask, what is the hidden message behind this disappointment? Maybe it's, I need to improve my interview skills, or I need to take one day off before starting again. When you stop fighting the emotion, it loses its power. Psychologists say, what you resist persists. Stop resisting the truth of your feelings. Tip 1. The 4-7-8 breathing technique. When emotions are too strong, your body is in fight or flight mode. This technique helps switch your nervous system from sympathetic stress to parasympathetic relaxation. How to do it? Inhale through the nose, counting to 4. Hold your breath, counting to 7. Exhale through the mouth, making a whoosh sound, counting to 8. Repeat 4 times. Tip 2. Talk to the emotion like a child. Instead of saying, I am angry, say, a part of me is feeling very angry. This creates a safe distance and allows you to treat that feeling with compassion, like you are comforting a crying child. In this way, you both respect the emotion and affirm that you are not the emotion itself. Secret 2 is about letting go of judgment. Remember this as we move on to Secret 3, where we will learn how to release the energy of this accepted emotion.
Secret 3. Release the physical energy of the emotion. Release the physical energy. Emotions, especially strong ones like anger, anxiety, or sadness, are not just thoughts in your head. They are biochemical reactions in your body. When you are stressed, your body is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones create excess physical energy, tense muscles, accelerated heart rate, and the desire to run or fight. The problem is, in modern work or study environments, we can't punch our boss or run away from a presentation. We suppress that energy. This suppressed energy doesn't disappear. It gets trapped in your body, causing tension headaches, stomach aches, and making you more prone to future explosions. Secret 3 is about releasing this excess energy consciously and safely. Suppose a colleague just took credit for your work, making you so angry you want to scream. Wrong reaction, you stay silent, keeping the anger bottled up. That evening, you yell at a loved one or throw your phone. Right reaction, release. You realize the energy is rising. You excuse yourself to the restroom or step outside onto the balcony. There, you don't think, you don't analyze, you just act. You do 10 quick push-ups or run for 5 minutes down the hall or punch a pillow. This short physical action burns off the excess adrenaline, calms your nervous system, and only then do you return to handle the situation rationally with a liberated prefrontal cortex. Tip 1. The shake it off technique. This technique is used in trauma therapy. When negative emotions hit, shake your whole body for 60 seconds. Shake your arms, legs, shrug your shoulders, shake your head. This mimics the natural response of animals after experiencing danger. They often shake off to release tension. It sends a safety signal to your brain. Tip 2, use sound and writing. No need to reread. Anger often wants to scream. If you can't scream loudly, find a private place and scream into a pillow or make loud vocal sounds. Or write an anger letter that you absolutely never send. Write down all your rage, your curses, then tear up the letter or burn it safely. The goal is to transfer the emotion from the inside to the outside world through physical action. Don't let emotions clog up your life. Release it, and then we can move on to Secret 4, reevaluating your thoughts.
Secret 4, reevaluate your thoughts. By now, you've named and accepted the emotion, and you've released the physical energy. But if you don't change your thoughts, the emotion will return. This is where we use reappraisal. Your emotion doesn't come from the event itself, but from how you interpret that event. Example, A is your boss criticizing your work. If you believe B, I am a failure, I have no future, then the consequence C is despair. But if you change B to, my boss is just helping me improve, this is a learning opportunity, the consequence C will be motivation or mild disappointment. Reappraisal is not about self-deception. It is about seeking an alternative, healthier, and more objective interpretation of the situation. Suppose you are very anxious about an upcoming important exam. Automatic thought, old reaction, I'm going to fail. Everyone will laugh at me. I'm not smart enough. Reappraisal, new reaction, you question these thoughts. Question, what is the worst thing that can happen? Failing, so what? Reappraisal, this anxiety is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign that I value this exam. I'm worried because I care. Reframed, this anxiety is energy for me to act. I will use 50% of that anxious energy to create a more detailed study plan. It is a signal, not a sentence. When you reappraise, you are no longer the victim of the negative narrative in your head. You become the screenwriter, choosing a story that supports positive action. Tip 1. The elder assumption technique. When a tough situation hits, ask, if my wise 65-year-old version looked at this, what would they say? That elder person won't say, you are useless. They will say, this is just one chapter. This failure taught you X. Get up and continue. Tip 2. Ask, what information am I missing? When you are angry or anxious, you often only see one side of the story. Force yourself to look for the facts you might be overlooking. Example, if you're angry because a friend canceled on you, ask, what information is missing? Maybe they are seriously ill. Maybe they are having a family crisis. Seeking missing information shifts the emotion from anger to empathy or worry for them. Secret 4 is the most powerful manipulation you can do inside your head. Master it, and you'll see the power of emotion drastically decrease. Now, let's move on to Secret 5, focusing on creating positive alternative responses to old emotional habits.
Secret 5. Build a strategic pause and action plan. Even if you've named, accepted, released, and reappraised the emotion, you can still revert to old habits. Why? Because your brain loves convenience. When a strong emotion hits, the automatic reaction, like screaming, isolating yourself, or emotional eating, is the easiest neural pathway. Secret 5 is about creating a strategic pause, a conscious second of delay to disconnect
the triggering emotion from the automatic response. Then, replacing that automatic response with a pre-prepared action plan. The philosopher Viktor Frankl said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. This pause is your real power." Suppose you are working under pressure and feel overwhelmed. Your automatic response is to open YouTube or TikTok to escape. Disconnection, strategic pause. The moment your hand touches the phone, say out loud or think to yourself, "Stop. This is the overwhelmed reaction. I will not do this." Replacement, action plan. You have prepared a healthy alternative action in advance, requiring no thought. Instead of scrolling TikTok, your action plan is 1. Stand up, drink a cold glass of water. 2. Take a quick 2-minute walk. 3. Write down the 3 most important tasks for the next 15 minutes. The action plan is not about solving the big problem. It's about changing your emotional state through a small, controllable action. Tip 1. Build an response library. For your 3 most common negative emotions, e.g., anger, anxiety, sadness, write down 3 pre-approved alternative actions. Example, if feeling angry, shake it off, 4-7-8 breathing, journaling. If feeling sad, call a close friend, play favorite music, tidy up the desk. Tip 2. Use a physical anchor. Choose a small item, e.g. a ring, a hair tie, a small stone, as your pause button. When the emotion is triggered, touch that object. This touching action is the physical signal to the brain, switch from automatic response to the approved action plan. Secret 5 is about building the muscle of discipline, turning healthy emotional reactions into your new habit. Now that we have a solid foundation, let's move on to Secret 6, where we will look at the role of the body in maintaining stable emotional states.
Secret 6. Nurture your core well-being, the foundation of stability. All 5 previous secrets are useless if your physical foundation is weak. Think about it. Are you more irritable when you're sleep-deprived? Are you more anxious when you skip a meal? Your brain is a biological machine. It needs stable energy to perform the complex job of emotional regulation, the prefrontal cortex. If you lack sleep, the brain prioritizes basic survival functions, yielding control to the instinctive reaction area, the amygdala. Emotional control isn't just psychological, it's managing body chemistry. The 3 foundational factors modern youth often overlook are sleep, nutrition, and movement. You have an important presentation tomorrow. You decide to stay up until 2 a.m. to prepare. The next morning, you feel well prepared, but you are easily irritated by small noises, and you forget a few crucial details. The cause? Lack of sleep doesn't just reduce memory, it reduces your ability to restrain emotions. A full 7 to 9 hours of sleep allows the brain to reset emotions and boost your stress resilience. Tip 1. The never HALT rule. HALT is a term in recovery: hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Whenever you feel yourself about to explode or overreact, ask yourself, am I HALT? If you are hungry or tired, address that physical need before trying to solve the emotional crisis. Tip 2. A dose of sunlight and nature. Exposure to sunlight in the morning helps regulate your circadian rhythm and boost serotonin production, a neurotransmitter that stabilizes mood. Just 10 to 15 minutes of walking in a park or on a balcony has been proven to significantly reduce cortisol levels and enhance emotional resilience. Tip 3. Minimize junk energy.
Avoid excessive stimulants like caffeine, sugar, and processed foods right before you need to focus or when you're already stressed. These provide immediate energy but lead to emotional instability, the crash. Replace them with healthy fats like avocados and nuts to maintain stable blood sugar. Secret 6 reminds us the clearest mind needs the healthiest body to operate. Finally, we're getting to the last secrets, where we'll look at the role of social connection and life meaning. Let's move to Secret 7.
Secret 7. Use your social anchor system. Humans are social creatures. Biologically, our brains are programmed to seek safety and support from a community. Loneliness is one of the most toxic emotions. It activates the pain center of the brain, just like physical pain. When you are stressed or feel lost, your natural response might be to isolate yourself. But this very isolation increases cortisol and decreases serotonin, making emotional control even harder. Secret 7 is not about finding someone to complain to. It's about using your social anchor system to achieve 3 crucial things: co-regulation, validation, and new perspective. Co-regulation is when you interact with a calm person, their nervous system automatically helps yours become calmer. You are overwhelmed with work and feel like you are the only one struggling. The emotion is self-pity and despair. Wrong reaction. You turn off the computer, lie in bed, and binge watch TV to escape. Isolation prolongs the suffering. Right reaction, connection. You remember Secret 7 and make a small connection. 1. Send a short voice message to a friend. I'm struggling with feeling overwhelmed today, but I'm trying. How are you doing? 2. Call your parent or sibling, talking about a neutral topic, not work. 3. Go to the kitchen to make coffee and smile at a colleague or roommate. Just these small acts of connection, eye contact, a genuine voice, are enough to release oxytocin, the love hormone, and immediately reduce cortisol. Tip 1. Build a resilient squad. Identify 3 to 5 friends or relatives you trust and know will listen without judgment. When you need support, don't send vague messages. Say, I need 5 minutes to vent. Are you free? This creates clear boundaries. Tip 2. The service to others technique. The fastest way to get out of self-pity is to focus on someone else. If you feel lonely, ask a friend if they need help with something. The act of service creates meaning and releases endorphins, significantly reducing your own negative feelings. Tip 3. Avoid toxic connections. Stop interacting with people who consistently drag you down, dismiss your feelings, or only want to complain without seeking solutions. They will destabilize your anchor system. Secret 7 is about realizing your emotional strength lies within the network of connections around you. Nurture them. And now to the final and most important secret, Secret 8, seeking a higher meaning.
Secret 8. Find your purpose and meaning, the higher purpose. After you've mastered the techniques for immediate emotional processing, you must address the deeper question: why am I doing this? Negative emotions like frustration, sadness, or anger often flare up most intensely when we feel life lacks purpose or when our work is meaningless. When you have a higher purpose, a reason bigger than yourself, the transient negative emotions lose their power. You no longer get angry because a colleague took credit, but you focus on the fact that the product I created has impact X, an impact the colleague cannot steal. The ultimate act of emotional control is not suppressing emotions, but directing them toward your purpose. Suppose you are going through a prolonged period of suffering, loss, major failure. Old reaction: why is this happening to me? Life is so unfair. Right reaction:
seeking meaning. You performed the biggest reappraisal. You ask yourself, what is this struggle equipping me with? It is teaching me compassion. It is giving me the strength to help others in the future. Stoicism calls this amor fati, love your fate, accepting that the challenge is not an accident, but an essential part of your growth story. The emotions still exist, but they are anchored to a larger reason for being. You allow yourself to be sad, but you know that this sadness will be transformed into compassion, and that compassion is your purpose. Tip number 1. Write your eulogy, the Eulogy Test. Think about the day you were gone. How do you want people to remember you? That list will help you identify your core values. When you face an emotional decision, ask, does this align with the person I want to be? Tip 2. Practice daily gratitude. Write down 3 things you are grateful for every day. This shifts the brain's focus from what you lack to what you have. Gratitude is the glue that sustains emotional stability. It creates a positive mental default state. Secret 8 is the jewel in the crown of emotional mastery. When you know why you are here, you stop fearing the emotions that stand in your way.
We have just completed the journey through the 8 golden secrets to emotional mastery, transforming internal storms into forward momentum. Let's quickly recap the key takeaways. Secret 1. Recognize and name it. Remember, if you can't name the emotion, like disappointment instead of anger, you can't control it. Expand your emotional vocabulary. Secret 2. Acceptance, not judgment. Don't fight your feelings. Accept them as data, not a verdict on your self-worth. Stop torturing yourself with judgment. Secret 3. Release physical energy. Emotions are biochemical. When angry or anxious, use short physical bursts like push-ups or shaking to burn off adrenaline and release trapped energy. Secret 4. Reevaluate thoughts. Reappraisal. Emotions stem from how you interpret events. Be the screenwriter. Choose a healthier narrative and seek the wise 65-year-old version of your perspective. Secret 5. Strategic pause. Create that small space between trigger and response. Use a physical anchor and a pre-prepared response library to replace old habits with positive actions. Secret 6. Nurture core well-being. Remember the HALT rule. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Stable emotions stem from stable sleep, nutrition, and movement. Secret 7. Use your social anchor. Do not isolate. Connect with your resilience squad for co-regulation and compassion. And Secret 8. Find purpose and meaning. Anchor your emotions to a reason bigger than yourself. Practice gratitude to maintain a positive mental default state. Emotional mastery is a skill, not a gift. It requires consistent practice, just like your daily physical workout. Tomorrow, you will still feel anxious. You will still get angry. But now, you have a powerful toolkit in your hands. You know exactly what to do with that anger instead of letting it ruin your day. Make a commitment to yourself. Today is the last day you let emotions arbitrarily control your life. If this video has helped you see the light, even just a little, please help us bring this light to more people. First, take a concrete action. Which of these 8 secrets will you apply starting today? Share secret 1, 4, or 7 in the comments below. We read every comment and want to hear your story. And secondly, if you want more in-depth content on personal development and applied psychology, subscribe to channel name now and hit the bell icon. And finally,
If you are feeling stressed and need immediate support, check out our next video on related video title, 5 Instant Anxiety Relief Methods, which you see in the corner of the screen. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, the power to control is always in your hands. See you in the next video.